Hi guys, so I wanted to talk about men's mental health kind of thing because it doesn't really get talked about a lot, and I just wanted to cover the topic of why a lot of men do feel alone and are basically closed off in when it comes to like emotions or showing emotions. So just wanted to talk about that at least because when it comes to mental health, it is a massive area, and I can't get into everything, but this is set like somewhere to start with to see how we go. So I don't really care if you subscribe or not, but if you can basically give me any feedback, just you can either reach out to me through the socials, just drop my links below, just reach out to me and just let me know whether it was useful or not. It doesn't matter what it is, but if I can get any feedback, that would be more appreciated than everything else. So if you're thinking about, well, oh, if you're shy to reach out or anything, I'll just drop my socials. I don't share it with anyone. So reach out to me. That is something that I would appreciate more than liking or subscribing, because I really do not give a fuck. Not in a bad way, but it's not what gets me going. It's just me being able to help someone. That's more meaningful to me than having a million subscribers. So let's just start. Um, I'm gonna go through this in four different phases. So why we're closed off in general, when it comes to friendships, when it comes to relationships, and basically, yeah, just talk about things in general as well at the end. So in to start with, a lot of one main stereotype that we do believe in um, is I'm a man and no one really cares. Well, part of that is absolutely true. It's sad, but it's fucking true. But it can be a bit close. It can be a bit wrong to say that because it's not really true in all cases. Well, we believe that no one really cares about our problems and we need to fix them all alone. And part of that is true because literally no one's coming to save you as a person. We gotta pull ourselves out of whatever the fuck that we are going through. So, um, it's kind of related to how a lot of us we go through things, whether it's good or bad, especially if it's like bad things. We pull ourselves out of the situation, no matter how terrible it is, and we try to reach out to people, but we might not get the same response. We feel like they don't really care enough to help us get through something. So when that happens, we're like, okay, no one really cares. We just gotta pull ourselves out of that situation. So we just building that thing or building our own opinion that no one really cares based on one situation. And in most cases, yes, no one would actually care enough to be there for you the way you want them to be when you're going through something rough. But that is not really right, or that's not really true, because if you do reach out to the correct people, I'm pretty sure that they would be there for you or there to talk to you. Doesn't matter what it is, I'm pretty sure that they would be happy to help you and get see you fucking thrive. That's just what it is. And what to take out of this is, yes, the past is not really your future. So if people have done you dirty, or let's say you were at your levels and you didn't have anyone, that doesn't always have to be true necessarily going forward as well. Because if you do have a great bunch of friends, then I'm pretty sure they would be more than happy, or they would care enough about you to sit down, talk to you, help you do anything. And yeah, one of the things is like, so we go through things alone. We pull ourselves out of situations. If you're feeling sad or whatever it is, we pull ourselves out of that situation. And it's like it's like we no one was there for us when we were going through things. So it's like now we believe that, why would I trust you enough to know this about me, or why would I trust you enough to believe that you would actually be there for me when whatever it is, right? And that is well, it's good that you are protecting yourself, but that's not necessarily true, especially when it comes to building a relationship. When if you're like so closed off and you don't let people be there for you, that's going to be bad for you. So it's gonna be natural when it comes to certain people. Like you would know that they would be there for you, they would have your back. But then when it comes to some people, you just don't trust them enough, and that's a good thing because now you know what to look for and what to not look for. So it's it's not easy to basically solve. That's not a solvable issue when it comes to who would be there for you and who would not. You would just know, and you might be disappointed. You might get disappointed in the future when something happens, but that doesn't mean that no one doesn't care about you. Because I promise you, if you do reach out to someone or if you try talking to people, someone will actually be there for you, and you'll be surprised by the number of people that actually cares. And another thing that I just thought of is, when was the last time you received a call from someone? Someone called you and they really checked on you, like they properly checked on how you were doing. And as a man, I can promise you, most of us, we can say never. No one's actually called us. No one's, tried to check up, like properly check on you. Not just, hey, how's it going, man? No, not that. But like properly checking up on you, probably never, right? And it's just the way it is. It is literally just the way it is. So be that friend. Honestly, be that friend to your boys or whoever you're talking to. Be that person who genuinely shows interest in someone. Be that friend that basically can say, oh, he was there for me. He actually asked me how I feel, and he actually cares. So try to be that person for the people around you, at least. So that's something to take out of this as well. And now we're moving on to friendships. A lot of us feel alone and not lonely. It's two different things. Because you could have a million friends, you could be hanging out with people, but you would still feel alone. And that's mainly because you guys are not on that same mindset level, or you're not seeing eye to eye when it comes to where you are and where you want to go as a person. Like, you have your own set of goals, you have your own set of things that you want to achieve, and basically you want to get there one day. And with your friends, they might not have the same interest as you, but if you do have friends that are basically on that same journey, or whatever it is, whatever your journey is, if you have friends that are on that same journey, on that same track, I promise you, you would never feel that way. You would never feel like, oh, my friends don't understand me. I feel lonely, even not lonely, once again, sorry. I don't feel alone when I'm with them, because now you're hanging out with people who are on that same path of life, and that's actually something amazing. So if you do feel alone and you feel like, okay, I do have friends, but they don't really, it's not fulfilling. That's because you guys are on different paths. And I'm not saying cut your friends off if that's the case. That's not what I'm saying. But know who you would basically invest in and who you wouldn't. And a lot of people are going to be distractions. Literally, there's going to be so many distractions. There's always going to be friends who have different objectives. Let's say you are focused, you want to make money, you want to get somewhere in life, you want to be respected, and then you have a friend who is always clubbing, who just wants to talk to girls, hit on girls, and sleep with girls. I'm not saying cut them off, but know where to draw the line, literally, because that friendship isn't gonna mean shit to you. But if you have a friend who's literally on that same path, where you basically can communicate without even saying all the words, because you already know what you mean. Like, sorry, you already know what they mean, and they already know what you mean, and that's gonna be very, very fulfilling. Like, that friendship, even if you spend 15 minutes with them, you would not feel alone, because you know that you got someone who's going down that same journey. You've got someone who's basically a high value person, and that's actually amazing for you. So if you if you do feel alone, especially when you're hanging out with your friends, well, that can be one of the reasons why. And my honest advice is, find those friends who are on that same journey, because you will literally literally be so fulfilled. Like you would be happy to have them in your life. And yeah, it's gonna be so natural. It's hard to find people who are on that same journey. It's hard to find people who are on that same journey as you, but once you do find them, it's gonna be so it's different. It's gonna feel different. I don't know how to explain this, but it's gonna feel so different, and you're gonna feel so fulfilled. Like you have friends that understand you, that you have friends who are there for you, that care for you. That's something amazing. And the the next area that I wanted to talk about was relationships. Um, a lot of men and women. um, I'm talking about men, so let's just focus on men. A lot of men would be just really happy to sleep around with a bunch of women, have meaningful sex, and just have one night stands. And there is some men, but some of us, we don't really care. We don't really care about hooking up with a thousand people because we know we can have. Well, I'm just gonna put it in this way: we can have 100 houses, but nothing's gonna feel like home. It's as simple as that. So we'd rather have a home than 100 houses, and I'm not talking about houses. So it's like you can sleep around with as many women, or if you're gay, men you want to, but that's not gonna fulfill us. Once again, I'm not talking about the people. I'm not speaking for the men who actually enjoy that. I'm just speaking for the men who would rather be in a relationship, a proper, meaningful relationship, rather than, well, sleeping around and having a whole face, literally. That's that is what it is, having a whole face. So, and the men who actually do want relationships, so would be happy to be in one. You see all these couples around you. You see all these couples on social media, and you just feel like, oh, why can't I have this? Honestly, you can, and I'm not asking you to fucking settle for the person who just likes you. No, I'm not saying that. Don't settle for someone just out of loneliness, you know? Like, if a lot of people, they would just date who they can rather than waiting for someone who you actually value. And if you do wait, it's gonna be worth it because you know you're getting into a relationship with someone who you actually want to work with. It's easy to find people to date or get into relationships, but it's hard to find a person to who you would actually want to put the effort into and who you would actually want to make things work with. That's the hard part, finding that person. But the truth is, you will find that person, and you will literally, it'll be all worth it. And I'm not saying you're gonna find the perfect person who's has already be like, has all the qualities that you are looking for. That's not gonna happen because there's nothing as a perfect person. You will find someone who you will want to work with. Like, you will find someone who you want to put effort into. You want to grow together and build yourselves up together, rather than, it's it's like, if I can put this into words, Simon Sinek is a very good uh, motivational speaker. I'm not too sure which category he falls into, but he has this analogy which is basically like playing tennis. So a relationship is, it is a team sport, but it's like playing tennis. So if you just keep hitting the ball to the other person, the person who you want to try with, you keep hitting the ball and they hit it back, and it goes back and forth. That's a healthy relationship where both of you are participating. Both of you want each other to work out, not work out as in gym, but work out as a relationship, and you want to basically get to that point where it's marriage, kids, all that one day. But if it feels like you're just hitting the ball at them there and they're not hitting back, that's a one-sided relationship. So you can keep hitting the ball all you want to that person, but if they're not hitting the ball back to you, it's gonna hurt you. It's literally going to hurt you, and you'd much rather be with a person who wants to participate in playing tennis as well in this scenario. And there's also the scenario where you just, once again, tennis field, you're hitting the ball at her, but she just keeps throwing the racket at you. That is a run. Literally, if that's the case, run. And a lot of us men, we're fixers. We're literally fixers. That's why we are so attracted to broken people, because we feel like, okay, we can fix them, right? I'm literally being serious. A lot of us, we find people who are broken, and like we're like, okay, maybe we can change them, maybe we can fix them. And the truth is, don't don't, because people don't change for you, people change for themselves. And that's something I've realized as well, because if you are a person who's changed, you did that for yourself, not for someone else, right? And if you did that for someone else, the second they left, or yeah, the second whatever you guys had didn't work out, you reverted back to your old self. So p- it's it's kind of like evolutionary science when we say people change for themselves. It's stop trying to fix people. All you can do is try to be there for them. If they want to change, perfect. You can, well, not change them, you can be there for them, you can encourage them, you can be that person who they can talk to if you know, if they need anything. But don't try to be the person who tries to change someone else. And if you're going through a breakup or anything at all, literally when it comes to relationships, always choose growth instead of comfortability, because there's gonna be situations where you just want to text her, you just want to have like one last conversation with her, but that you know what you have to do. You know you have to fucking walk away. You know you have to put yourself first. And I'm not saying it's very easy to say. It's not fucking easy to do, because I remember, well, just this fucking Saturday or Friday, all I wanted to do was just text this person I was seeing and just ask her or something. But I knew that was the bad thing, but all I wanted to do was just text her. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm talking about all this, so I'm just trying to prove that I'm not perfect. Literally, all I wanted to fucking do was just reach out to her, just, I don't know, just try to start something. And the only thing that stopped me was I was like, I know that I'm gonna regret this. I'm just having a moment of weakness. I just texted two or three of my friends. I knew my friends wouldn't text me back right away, and damn, they haven't texted me back yet. But all the people I reached out, but one of them did, and they were like, okay, don't do that. And that was the only thing that stopped me. And right now, talking to you, talking to this camera, that was so worth it. If I hadn't reached out to my friends, I would have texted that person who I was talking to, and I don't know where or how I'll be feeling. And the moral is, there's going to be moments of weakness where you just try to spark something out of like a moment of weakness. Literally, I call it a moment of weakness, because you know what you have to do. You know that they don't care. You know that they aren't as invested as you when it comes to this thing. So you gotta pick your shit up, you gotta move on, and trust me, the right person for you is right around the corner. And there's this quote which I saw on Instagram. Most of my things that I see are from Instagram, so I'm using Instagram for the good way. It said, the more you entertain what's not for you, the more you're delaying what is for you. So you can keep talking, or you can spend time talking to something or talking to someone that you know isn't, the end result, or the one that you want to end up with one day. The more you do that, the more you are delaying the right person for you. So keep going, man. Literally, you're gonna fucking find that right person for you. If you have found the right person, I really do hope that you do appreciate what you have, and basically not fuck around and mess things up. And the last thing is, I just wanted to talk about like how the only way out of male depression. And if you look at the background here, Adam Lane Smith, he's fucking amazing. It's literally amazing. You just check his Twitter out, and he has his podcast with Chris Williamson. I do highly recommend that. Link it down below. There's a lot of men who actually are in this space who are actually very healthy. Adam Lane Smith, Jordan Peterson. I highly recommend, yeah, Jordan Peterson. That man is amazing. Jordan Peterson, David Goggins. You can listen to. There's a podcast called Diary of a CEO. There's another podcast called Modern Wealth by Chris Williamson. I will link them below. I highly, highly recommend checking them out because they have been one of the key things to like male development when it comes to like the male I'm not sure how to put it, but male empowerment kind of thing. So I highly recommend you guys check that as well. Yeah, so about male depression, the only way out of, or the only way to deal with depression is trying to be the best version of ourselves. And as a man, that's something evolutionary that we basically have to do. That's if we don't have that, that's why we kind of feel like depressed. And this reel I posted the other day, it quoted, "Male depression gets treated like female depression. Men are made to feel loved and affected when all they want to do is feel capable and powerful. You give a man a purpose and the ability to achieve it, and he will crawl over broken glass with a broken smile. Sorry, he will crawl over broken glass with a smile." And I think that feeling capable, powerful, competent, respected, and admired is something that will get a man so far. You give a man those things, and he will deal with suffering until the end of the earth. We are designed to do that. We are designed to suffer. We are designed to deal with suffering, but it needs to be in service of something. So this basically goes to say we just need a purpose. We need to be doing something that is meaningful. It doesn't matter what your purpose is. Like, it doesn't have to be like you deciding, okay, my purpose is doing this, because we for me, I'm doing a lot of things, but I don't know what my fucking purpose is, but I know whatever I'm doing is meaningful. So do something meaningful. Start doing something that you find valuable. It doesn't matter what it is, it doesn't matter how small it is. It could be, it could just be hitting the fucking gym. That could be your purpose. That's not your end goal, but that's maybe where you start. So start somewhere. Find something that you would actually put interest into, that you would want to commit to, and I promise you, you're not gonna feel depressed. You're gonna feel depressed, and you're just gonna feel so sad if you're not doing anything. When I say doing anything meaningfully, you know, or doing anything meaningful. Because for me, I remember a couple of years ago, I was literally not working out, just hanging out with just my friends or just playing video games, eating whatever I wanted to, and I was fucking depressed. It was shit, and starting to do either trading or I can't remember, but I remember starting with gym, like just working out and learning about investing. That was basically where I started, just watching YouTube videos, and right now I'm like in a completely different space, and it feels amazing because I know I'm going somewhere and I'm doing something meaningful. And even with YouTube, well, like I said, don't really care if you subscribe or not, but if I'm helping someone, at least that's so meaningful to me. And yeah, if you can reach out, let me know how I can at least improve. That would be much, much appreciated. And if you're thinking like, oh, I don't have to do that, I don't want to do that, that's fine. But if you, I empower you to fucking reach out, tell me, or because I will literally use that feedback, and I do care. So yeah, the only way out of depression is to outrun it, and outrun it as in work towards something meaningful, or do something that's actually meaningful to you. And that's basically what it is. Because even when I'm not doing something where I don't have to work towards something, and I literally have fuck all to do, like literally nothing to do, I just feel like shit. I feel like I don't have anything to work towards, or I just feel like I have no purpose, and it's a shit feeling. So it's kind of like evolutionary, or something very evolutionary biology. I mean, because us men, we fixers. We just want, we like a challenge. We want to achieve something, And for you to achieve something, you need to be working towards something. So find something that is meaningful to you that you want to do, and start somewhere. Literally start somewhere. Doesn't matter what the fuck it is, just start somewhere. Just turn off this podcast, turn off YouTube, doesn't matter what the fuck it is. Start. Start, start. That's something that I can genuinely say, because the more you delay it, you'll have a million excuses why not to do something, but you just need one reason why, or why you should do it, and that why needs to be very strong. So I believe in you. Go fucking make the best of yourself, best of your fucking time, and yeah. Until next time, have a good one, guys.